The most rewatchable movie in the Fast and Furious franchise is actually so good you'll forget that it doesn't always make sense. The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift is the third installment in the Fast saga and follows 17-year-old racing enthusiast and outcast Sean Boswell, Lucas Black, as he settles into his new life in Tokyo, where he discovers the drifting scene. Tokyo Drift sets itself apart from the other Fast and Furious movies due to the absence of Paul Walker or Vin Diesel in a leading role, although Dom Toretto does appear at the end. The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift has a bad reputation due to its inconsistencies and numerous retcons. The Fast and Furious franchise later altered its timeline to resurrect Tokyo Drift's Han, Sung Kang, making Tokyo Drift the sixth movie chronologically. As a result, Tokyo Drift was ranked one of the worst Fast and Furious movies with a disappointing 38% tomato meter on Rotten Tomatoes, and it's the lowest grossing film in the franchise. However, Tokyo Drift has surprisingly redeemed itself over the years and has become one of the most rewatchable movies in the entire Fast saga. Tokyo Drift is the most rewatchable Fast and Furious movie. The only true standalone Fast and Furious movie. The main reason why Tokyo Drift is the most rewatchable Fast and Furious movie is because it's the only film in the saga that is self-contained. To watch Tokyo Drift, you don't need any real background knowledge about the rest of the franchise because all of Tokyo Drift's characters are original. Even with all of the Fast saga's timeline retcons, Tokyo Drift still works as a standalone film. Audiences can thrill to Tokyo Drift's impressive Fast and Furious-style car stunts without needing to know the plot of the other movies. After his shocking death in the film, Han Lu's return complicated Fast and Furious timeline when he reappeared in Fast 5. As a result, Fast and Furious retconned its entire timeline and made it so that Tokyo Drift is actually set between Fast and Furious 6 and Furious 7, explaining that Han actually faked his death with Mr. Nobody's, Kurt Russell, help. This huge retcon, which happened years later, also belatedly explained Toretto's appearance at the end of Tokyo Drift, when he said that Han was family. Tokyo Drift has aged well, thanks to the Fast and Furious movies that came after it. Tokyo Drift is predominantly a car movie, not a superhero-esque movie. Custom image of Dominic Toretto in Fast and Furious. Custom image by Debanjana Chowdhury. Surprisingly, despite its low box office earnings and ratings, The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift has aged quite well, and this is due to the Fast and Furious movies that came after it. In order to keep up with the hype that each film brings, Fast and Furious has become increasingly ridiculous, taking unbelievable turns. Characters in the Fast saga are practically invincible, and the movies have become Avengers-style superhero spectacles with cars. In contrast, Tokyo Drift is grounded in street racing, which makes it highly rewatchable and helped it age well. Tokyo Drift's grounded approach is brilliant for car lovers and rewatchers, as it's easy to follow and nowhere as dramatic as later installments. Rather ironically, Tokyo Drift's box office flop changed the Fast and Furious franchise in the first place, changing the movie's new lead character per film formula and instead sticking with Vin Diesel as its main character. The Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift's disappointing box office made the Fast saga feel it had to be more exciting and stray further from its original street racing premise, but hopefully this will change for Fast 11, and it, too, will be just as rewatchable.